Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome back to another video. Today I'm going to talk to you guys about how to prevent relapsing on semen retention. So guys, we all have triggers. We all have different things that we deal with. We all have issues in our lives, problems in our lives, stressful situations. And typically, for me, I always use porn to deal with that, right? It's a quick relief, right? It takes 5 seconds, 1 minute at most, right? And then bam, I'm done. But guys, if you're 2 weeks in, if you're a month in, if you're 6 months in, if you're a year strong and you're dealing with urges or you're dealing with problems, in your life, and you feel like giving up or you feel like relapsing, I'm going to provide you with some tools that have helped me drastically over the past 5 years deal with the problem. So in my experience, because that's really all I can speak from, when I relapsed in the past, there was always two reasons why, mainly two reasons. So number one would be, let's say I'm bored or I got nothing going on, and I have excess time by myself, excess time that I'm just bored, have nothing going on. I would pull up Instagram, pull up the websites, and I'd try edging or doing something just to kill some time or whatever, because I'm like, it won't hurt, right? I'm not going to relapse. I'll just edge and just watch and whatever, right? That's what most guys do. But here's the thing. The problem with edging, or the problem with even like viewing the nudity on your phone, the problem with that is, yeah, you might not relapse in that moment, or you might be able to control yourself in that moment, but that one time you open that website, or that one time you click on that girl's Instagram, it makes it easier to keep doing it. You know what I mean? So like, we're creatures of habit, right? So if I open up Instagram, right, and I'm scrolling and I'm watching girls twerking, or this girl doing this exercise and she's got these type of yoga pants or whatever, right? It's very easy for me to do that 4 hours later when I'm bored again, because I've already started the habit, right? And it's very ingrained in my brain over years of, the neuroplasticity in my brain, that neuron, or whatever, the neural pathway is so strong in my brain that me opening it up once, it's like automatic that I'm going to open up the website again, right? So the problem with pornography, and the problem with like opening Instagram, and mainly pornography, right? Like, I've noticed something. Like, let's say you go, and I'm going to get a little detail, I'm going to go into the details here, so mind me if I'm a little bit inappropriate. Don't mind me. Let's say you open up porn, right? Not only is there pictures associated with it, but there's sound, right? So you combine the visual aspect of porn and the sound aspect, and it makes it so enticing in your brain that it's very hard to not open it up again, right? Like, for example, I'm going to get a little descriptive here, but like I said, don't mind me. When you're watching porn, right, you can hear the two bodies going together, right, down there. And you also can hear the noise from the female or the guy, right? So when you combine that with the visual aspect of the act and the sound, it makes it so enticing for your brain, and it makes it easier. There's more association you have in your mind to go back and do it again, because it's like, I hear something in my head and I see something in my head. So it's a lot easier for me to go to that image or to that website again. Like, it's easier. Like, for example, it's a lot easier once I open up porn to go back to porn than it is, let's say I open up Instagram, because Instagram, for the most part, it's just visuals, right? You're just looking at the girl's body. But when you're on porn, right, you see her body, you see her nudity, her complete nudity, and you also have sound. So it's like, there's more associations that your brain can connect to make it easier to go back to that habit. Does that make sense? Right? So in a way, porn is the worst like way to edge. I mean, they're all just not conducive at all, right? You want to completely avoid it. But what I'm trying to say is, if you really want to go the distance on semen retention, if you really want to completely destroy your addiction to porn, at least the most effective way that I've had, like when I went 7 months, I wasn't viewing it at all, right? So that time frame where I was just working double shifts, working every day, staying consistent in the gym, that 7 months, I noticed that I wasn't even opening porn, right? If I did, or I went on Instagram, it would be like once every like 3 or 4 weeks, but it wasn't enough to get me to keep going back. You get what I'm saying? So to prevent a relapse, it's the number one way I truly believe is just guarding your eyes, and then, you know, guarding the sound too, because if you combat the visuals with the sound, the amplified sound to it, it makes it easier to keep going back to porn, because it's so wired in your brain. You hear the girl, you can hear the guy, or you can hear the body parts colliding, and you also you have a visual of what the girl looks like, and it's like, man, like, it just makes it easier to go back because it's so enticing, right? So that's number one, right? You have to guard your eyes and guard your ears as well. So number two, and this could be number one, to be honest, but stress, right? So anytime I relapse, it was always because of stress, meaning, like, you know, let's say I worked like 12-hour day. Let's say someone, like I said, I talk about this in my videos a lot, but my job sometimes can be stressful, right? Or whatever, or like, let's say like I'm just in a negative mood or whatever, or someone said something to get me down or whatever, stress or whatever. It's a lot, like the times I would relapse, I would just go home and watch porn just to ease that little like bit of stress that I might have accrued through the day, right? But now what I do is, instead of, hey man, let me pull up the websites or Instagram, what I'll do is, and it works a lot, is, and I think I mentioned it in my previous video, one of the previous videos, is I adopt like stretching, meditation, and breath work, right? All in one, like one go. So like, for example, if I know I'm stressed, or I know I had a tough day, or I can feel like my body is tense, or I have inflammation, or I'm just in a negative state, what I'll do is, to ease all of that tension, the worry, the stress, what I'll do is I'll go into, like, I can do this in my house. I'll just go and I'll do like some, not really like yoga, but I'll just do like basic like stretching, right? I'll do like 2 rounds of like stretching, which takes about 15-20 minutes. Then I'll combine like meditation and breath work in one. So I'll sit there for like 15 minutes, just do some basic like Vipassana meditation. I'm just kind of like watching my breath, which gets me into like like it lowers my stress levels. And then what I'll do is, if I still feel like I'm tense, or I feel like I have like my energy's blocked, I'll do the Wim Hof method. So I'll do like deep breath work, right? I'm not going to show you guys how to do that. I might make a separate video on it, but the Wim Hof method is like, you're basically just taking like extreme, like deep breaths, like about like, you'll take like 20 to 30 breaths. And then on the 30th breath, like that last breath, you'll inhale, like, so you go like basically like this. Ready? You'll feel all the air trapped in your stomach, and then you'll let it release. So I don't know like the exact like science behind this, or the reason why it like alleviates stress or whatever, but all I can say is it works. It opens up. Like, if I feel, I'm sure you guys pay attention next time you're stressed, or you feel like you have tension, you'll feel like the tension. It'll either be like somewhere between like your neck and the bottom of your torso, or it'll be in your diaphragm around your stomach, right? And when your energy is blocked in those areas, it's your mind is a lot more active, because there's so much tension up here in this area, whether it's your neck, whether it's your torso, whether it's your chest, that the stress is amplified by overthinking, by maybe anger, maybe frustration, right? So when you alleviate the stress, like I said, through stretching, through opening up this part of your body, you're a lot more free. You feel like you're lighter, and that's the whole point, right? Like, when you're stressed, you feel heavy, you feel dense, you feel tense. And then as a result of that, your body's tense. So your mind is also more active and more anxious. So as a result, what do? You watch porn, right? Because it's like, hey man, this is an easy, quick release. And like I said, in the short term, I can say that like releasing does work in the short term. But like I said, we're here for long-term sustained energy, right? So just by releasing your seed, yeah, you might feel good for 10-20 minutes, but how are you going to feel 4 hours later when you can't go to the gym, or you can't get it up with your girl, right? So like I said, neither here nor there. However, you have to open up your energy. You have to make sure you're not blocked, you're not tense, and you don't have that much inflammation. You can't avoid stress. Like I said, it's a part of existence. We deal with things that we don't want to deal with at times, or we deal with people that we don't want to deal with at times, or people are difficult at times. So like I said, it's always going to be there. But if you have a system, like I said, whether it's stretching, meditation, I think stretching, meditation, and breath work are the 3 things that work for me. Obviously, the gym is helpful. Obviously, going out, getting sunshine, fresh air, maybe going for a walk is helpful. But really, like, getting rid of tension and getting rid of inflammation is really going to make you feel a sense of peace and like calmness. And that's really where it comes down to. You're not going to feel calm all the time, but in that moment, if you can calm yourself down and prevent yourself from, like I said, opening up Pornhub or opening up, Instagram or TikTok or OnlyFans or whatever, then, hey, man, you just won that battle, right? Now, you didn't win the war, but hey, man, when you keep winning battles and over and over again, then you eventually win the war, right? Think about it. If you're in a war, let's say you're, I don't know, let's say like you're the US military and you win one battle, then you win the next battle, then you just keep winning battles and battles, you're going to win the war eventually, because you've developed such an ability to handle whatever troops come your way, whatever the enemy has, that you're unbeatable, right? So that's what you want to be when you're tackling like porn or dealing with urges, or you feel like you're going to relapse. You have to win each battle, because you get stronger over time. You learn how to deal with the triggers. And in the same way, like dealing with if you're trying to fight an army, you learn what their maneuvers are, you learn what kind of weapons they have, you learn when they're going to use their weapons, when they're going to send this person that way, right? So it's like it's kind of akin to a military strategy, but you have to learn how to deal with stress. And once you learn how to deal with stress, I feel like it's really hard to relapse. Because like I said, the biggest 2 things I've noticed, at least in my journey here dealing with this, is the imagery, the sound, and then dealing with just stress. If I can deal with those 2 to 3 things and master them and overcome them, I'm never going to relapse. I'm going to go forever, right? So that's the goal for you guys, and that's the goal. Obviously, I've always been working on this, but next time you feel like relapsing, try that. Try with the Wim Hof method. Try stretching. See if you feel a sense of ease, if you feel a sense of calmness, and hopefully from that state you won't feel the need to, like I said, go on porn and relapse. So yeah, that's it. That's all, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel, make sure to subscribe. If you guys have any comments, questions, leave them down below. And as always, I will talk to you guys soon. Peace.